From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DBICD Primetime Capper, and it is time for the Pure Sports Betting Show. The Primetime Angles live, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I hope you're feeling the same. And it was a pretty good night last night, once again, for the pick six and things like that. And I was able to go ahead and give you guys a gem last night. I hope you guys were able to take it. The Indians did go ahead and pull that win off last night, 5-4. And I think as it ended up was about a plus 255 doggy dog. So pretty much hate to do that to the Astros backers, but you got to know the trends. You got to follow the trends. And I told you guys exactly what it is, and it happened. So today, they're not going to give me anything that's going to be high value for you, but I got some dogs for you in the pick six coming up in a bit. So you guys stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and get this show started, and let's get into our first topic in hand, and that's going to be Westbrook to the Lakers is heating up, but is it a good fit? Okay, so I would say this. I would say no, because LeBron James already is a ball-dominant player as is. Russell Westbrook is a ball-dominant player as is. Only thing that would make this fun is that it would be a homecoming for the former UCLA Bruin, former Londale standout as well, too. But all in all, though, the Lakers kind of just don't need to mess with the chemistry the way it is, even though they are going to lose players in Schroeder and Drummond coming up fairly soon. And I know a lot of Laker fans don't want to hear that part about giving up Drummond, but that you guys got to get out of fantasy land. We already tried to give the thing a try. The experiment did not work. So it's time to move on from that situation, because there's tons of centers in the league that play far better than him and can come at a cheaper price as well, too. So that's one thing that you have to factor in. But Russell Westbrook coming to the Lakers is literally like a dream for you, because if they are able to get him, it would have to mean that they would have to give up a sign and trade situation with Schroeder, and then add in more pieces, and then add in late picks later on down the road. The Lakers don't want to do that. You know, that's not the right mentality. The Lakers do need to keep themselves in the first round for the next few years, because LeBron James is not 22 anymore. He's on the twilight of his career right now, even though he's still damn good. We all know that. Well, years wise and just time wise is that it's almost over. And you know, if you guys didn't get the point the other night when Giannis won the championship, this pretty much was like the passing of the guard year in a sense. But you still have the veterans, you still have the guys in place to make the league entertaining. But we know that we are now entering the next phase. So, you know, if you're bringing Westbrook in, you're not bringing Westbrook in to be somebody for LeBron. You're bringing him in for AD. And would he be able to mesh with AD? I do think so. But at the end of the day, I just think that the guy just he can bust his way too much, and I don't think that fits the Lakers situation the way that people think it does. People are over here just, it's like you see a used Ferrari, and you're going crazy about it because you get it at a bargain price. But there's dings, there's maintenance that comes with that as well too. So you don't know what you're getting here with Westbrook, a guy that's in and out the lineup throughout the season as well too, because he has nagging injuries from going so hard for so many years. So it is what it is at the end of the day. I prefer a guy like Kemba Walker, who is they are in talks trying to bring him in as well too. And as you guys already know, in the back of the room, they're already screaming for CP3 to get to the Lakers already. But I don't know if that's going to happen, but pretty much we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out, but it's too early to really jump into this. But it is heating up a little bit in the Twitter world of things, but I don't know if it's heating up in the Lakers front office or anything. If they say interested, that doesn't necessarily mean they're making a move. they're interested in a lot of people at the end of the day. So don't get your panties all in a bunch and don't put the cart before the horse. That's all I can say. So we move on and let's go ahead and jump into then what to expect from Zags star Jalen Suggs and what's his fit in the top 10. I think that Jalen Suggs, with the situation with in Cleveland, where it looks like they're going to be getting rid of Colin Sexton. That's who they already have on the trade market. I'm thinking that they're trying to put this move in place so then they can bring in a guy like Jalen Suggs that can fit with, this young core a little bit better, or, pretty much, bring in a new face, because the Cavs love drafting people at the same position time in and time out, and getting these top 5 picks year in and year out. So they're trying to build something in Cleveland. I think Jalen Suggs does fit the bill because, he's a kid from Minnesota. He's not too far away from Cleveland and everything like that. And I think he's a Midwest guy, Midwest. So he literally had the Zags on the verge of winning a national championship. I think that the UCLA game kind of tired him out. And, Baylor was a very athletic team that they just had not seen all season. They had a lot of athletes on that Baylor team that committed to the little things in the game and played a great defensive, had a great defensive game as well, too. So, that was something that they just couldn't overcome. But, Jalen Suggs, all in all, still had a great tournament. He hit the shot of the tournament as well, too. He's a great leader. I think that he'll pay dividends on whatever team that does draft him. But I see the Cavs as being a really good fit. Or he can find himself in Orlando in that situation where they're trying to build something fresh, something new in the Orange City, and try to get themselves, together, because Orlando has been quiet for a long time, and this would be a splash type of pick for them. So I do think that's a good fit for him as well too. And then I know it might not really be room for him there, but he could wind up back at home in Minnesota, and that would be a good fit for him as well, because he could be a hometown guy that can help sell a lot of tickets. And knowing how, you got A-Rod and his people in this situation, he might think like Jeter did and start getting rid of money very early in the process. And I know that Cat is an asset that they are willing to move if the right deal does come across. So that's something that you got to look into as well. And I think those are the 3 teams that will probably be real well off with Jalen Suggs. So we'll see what they do. We'll see how it goes. But all in all, though, the NBA draft is deep. It's going to be good, and there's going to be a lot of guys going to teams making a good impact on them as well too. And I'm saying this wholeheartedly as well too, because usually I be dogging the draft each year, saying these kids are coming out too quickly, but they got a good mix of guys coming out that aren't one and done this year, and they kind of get the point now that the champions like Stephen Curry and things of that nature, those guys spent 3 years in college. You saw Chris Middleton win a championship. He spent his whole time in college. So, don't let them fool you with running to the NBA, because you might not just be that ready. Because I would say that the G League is just a step above college basketball. So, a lot of these guys think that if they run to that portion now, that they'll be ready to get to the NBA. And there are a few guys that are from the G League developmental programs that will be drafted in the top 10 as well too. But are they all the way ready for the NBA? We will see, because, if the NBA is trying to run a minor league system, just know one thing about baseball. Baseball has had a lot of failures more than they had success stories in the draft, and, coming up to trying to get to the next level. So, that's just something you can throw out there as well too. The NBA is still out there. They're still at the early phases of it, trying to figure it out and everything like that. But you don't want to ruin careers either, like they did the first time around when they let a lot of high school guys into the NBA in the early 2000s and things like that. And I don't think the NBA ruined careers like that, but I just really think that what happened is that the NBA wasn't prepared for dealing with children. And, when you're 18, 19, 20 years old, you're still a kid, even if you're in an adult world. So, it's tough to really make the transition unless you have positive people with you, like Kobe Bryant did, like Kevin Garnett did, Jermaine O'Neal as well too, just to name a few. And pretty much as long as you have a good team behind you, pushing you all all in the right directions, you should be fine. But then there's really cautionary tales as well, too, where guys just literally just lost their mind, at mental health issues, but that's because the NBA didn't do a good job of checking their background. They just checking for the talent. So this is good. We got a good level-headed group of players now that are in the draft. So that's what makes the draft so intriguing. It's no more banger bust. It's really like, where does this guy fit at, and what will he be when he gets to the NBA? Will it be a superstar? Will it be a middling star? Or will it just be a good contributor to your team? And it seems like that you've been able to get that player in the last few drafts, so that's good to look at as well too. So pretty much that's that with the hoop, and let's go ahead and jump into the NFL preview today, which is going to be the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts coming here off of an 11-5 season that was led by the old man Rivers, who did retire at the end of the year, right after the Buffalo game. It was pretty emotional for him as well too. I was hearing that Indianapolis did want him to come back, but they made a monster move and went and got Carson Wentz, a guy that had ran his course in Philadelphia. He's looking for a restart here, but a little bit closer to North Dakota now as well too. So that should be good for him. But all in all, though, I don't expect this team to be what they were last year. I expect this team to take a few steps back this year. They're going to be dealing with a very good Titans team that did sweep them last year, and that's crazy. They only lost 3 times other than losing to the Titans twice. So they had a damn good season when it all came down to it. So they do have the defensive side taken care of. That's really good right there. And then they got a good little two-headed monster in the running back in the backfield. So they have a chance to be the other team that can win the South this year, but I think it's going to be a little bit of a difficulty for them to do that this year because how good Tennessee looks on paper and how good they should be, because Mike Vrabel is one of the best coaches in the NFL, and I think that he now has the roster to go ahead and back that up as well too. So pretty much this should be a Titans division, but all in all, the Colts are the team that you look at second to be the team that could possibly win this division as well too, if Carson Wentz can return back to form from his rookie year. You guys got to understand the guy has not been the same since that Rams game at the Coliseum when he got his knee cracked and was still in the game after he got his knee cracked. And he pretty much has been timid ever since he's been back. But I think that he got a little dejected when he saw Nick Foles win that Super Bowl. So I think this is a redemption year for Carson Wentz, but he can't go in there with the mind state like that. He just needs to go in the mind state playing one game at a time. He has a more talented team around him. He has his offensive coordinator from his rookie year as well too, so he understands the system. So it's a pretty good marriage, but that doesn't mean anything because the guy still has to be able to be there mentally. And I think that's what happened in Philadelphia. You're too busy trying to appease, already rowdy fan base. Then you have a head coach that was, a little bit, over you in a sense, but the coach gets fired and then you get traded. So it really didn't make any sense to me why Philadelphia did that. I would think that they would have kept the coach and traded the quarterback, not do both and get, just start a fresh start anew after winning a Super Bowl less than 5 years ago. But hey, at the end of the day, it is what it is. The NFL is what are you doing? What have you done for me lately type of business now, not type of business. It is what have you done for me lately? Nobody cares about what happened 3 or 4 years ago. They're worried about what's happening right now. And Carson Wentz could change his whole career around and not just be a 10, 12 game wonder. He can actually, get back to the status of being one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. But it's going to have to be a game-by-game situation, and he's going to have to be patient about that as well, too. But he does have a roster that can back him up, and that's what I'm saying about the Colts. And I think that the Colts are under 10 team this year. I think that they finish at best 9-7 this year, but they will be in a playoff hunt, and they will be a team that does do some damage, I think, in the early portion of the year. But I think in the late end of the year, that's where they'll run into the woes and run into their troubles, because that's usually when Carson Wentz starts playing not good football. So, hey, we'll just take it at that. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And you guys stay tuned to the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
All right, we are back with the premier sports betting show, The Primetime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DBIC, the Primetime Capper. And, man, last night was a brutal one for the Dodgers because the Dodgers played a great game. It was a pitching duel last night as well, too, between Logan Webb and Julio Urias. Julio Urias was on point throughout the whole night. He was able to get to, I think he pitched 8 innings last night, was able to set it up for Kenley Jansen, the all-time saves leader on the Dodgers, and it's only because he's been on the team for the last, 10 years or so. I always talk about watching his debut and all that good stuff, and he used to be a catcher and all that stuff. But, Kenley Jansen is a little bit over the hill, and this has been something that Dodger fans and a lot of people have realized over the last 2 or 3 years that, it's really tough sledding when you bring Kenley Jansen in the game. And I'm only mentioning this because it was a beautiful game until Kenley Jansen came in and gave up, I think, like 4 hits and 3 runs. He gave up a 2-run home run that put the Giants ahead. Then they got the go-ahead 4-2. And, that just pretty much was very dejecting for the Dodgers last night. That went 1-2-3 in the bottom of the ninth because guys were already making dinner reservations and everything like that at the top of the ninth inning last night. And then Kenley Jansen makes guys stick around for another 30, 45 minutes. And, pretty much you want to get to where you're getting to, right? But that's not a real excuse. The Dodgers know what time it is. They would have been in first place last night if they would have been able to win that game. And you know what? The Giants just wanted it. I keep trying to preach to y'all that the Giants are not going away. The Dodgers and Giants, when they plan for 1-2, when they're 1-2 chasing a pennant, this goes all the way back to New York. They're going to go at it. The Giants are going to challenge the Dodgers at every opportunity. The Dodgers are going to challenge the Giants at every opportunity. Whenever one thinks that they're smooth sailing, here comes the other to mess up your day. This is how it's been for like the last 100 years. What do you guys don't get about that part? So I'm not surprised by the Giants winning the game the way that they did because I wasn't surprised by the way that the Dodgers won the game the night before with the walk-off. So, this is a great series. Hopefully we get this in the playoffs as well too, but not in the first round, but in the championship series. But that's going to be doubtful because, they make the 1 play the 4, all that stuff. But if they set it up by record, the Giants and Dodgers could be on a, they could be on a, a derby on their way to getting to this NLCS and giving us a classic NLCS that I think will go 7 games as well too. Because this has been a great series this year. I know a lot of people were very gung-ho about the Padres. But like I said yesterday with Mike, the Padres are an egotistical team. So that's why they're not doing what they're supposed to do. That's why they're in third place still. And that's why the Dodgers and Giants are going back and forth at it because they're playing baseball the way that you go about baseball. They're not playing it to show off for fans and show and make sure that they guys in the Gatorade commercial and all this good stuff and doing weird stuff and jumbotron videos and things like that. They're all about winning. It's not about looking cool. It's about winning games. And both these teams are on the same path right now. They're both on they're both on pace to win 100 games this year as well too. This is exciting, to be honest with you. The baseball hasn't had something like this going back and forth in the last few years because everybody's always thinking about Yankees, Red Sox, but the Giants and Dodgers I think their rivalry has always been more intense. I think the Boston and New York's rivalry is really based on a trade that was made for Babe Ruth 100 some odd years ago, and they're still talking about it. That's what that's about to me. But this one right here is the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Stick ball, all that good stuff. So I like it. I love it. So let's hope for a really good game tonight. The Dodgers, if they take care of business, they'll be right back where they were to start the week. And you know what? It is what it is. If you don't lose any ground, there ain't nothing to be mad about. And then they're going to see they'll be flying to San Francisco Monday anyway to go ahead and start a 3-gamer with the Giants to go ahead and get some get back. So 7 games in the last 10 days against this team. Absolutely incredible, and it's going to be absolutely nail biting to say the least. So we move on. Let's get into the games for tonight. We got Atlanta leading us off tonight. Atlanta and Philadelphia. You got the Braves coming in here minus 155 tonight. Braves are plus 125 at home, and you got an over under a 9. So pretty much, can you trust the Braves? We can see, but I think that all in all, this game winds up being more about the scoreboard. I think that this game actually goes over. I know Charlie Morton's going to be on the mound tonight as well, too. And then you have on the mound tonight for the Phillies, you're going to have – I'm trying to get it right now, but on the mound tonight, you'll have a decent pitcher. In my opinion, I'm going to check this out right here, preview. All right, I got it. So it's going to be Matt Moore, man. Everybody knows Matt Moore. Matt Moore from his days of being pitching for the Rays. He's a decent pitcher, 5.25 ERA, but I know they're going to be all over him tonight as well, too. Charlie Moore, 122 strikeouts over 36 walks, 8-3 on the season as well, too. So, the Braves will get a lot of love tonight, and they'll probably get a lot of 1.5 bets for the spread tonight as well, too. So that's something to look at. But I think that this is a scoreboard watching game because the Phillies and Braves have always been, kind of bitter with the rivalry as well, too. Not intense, but they've always been able to put together some really good games. I think tonight they could get upended a little bit if they don't focus the way that they need to be focused. So we move on, and our next game is going to be like I just mentioned it, the Yankees and the Red Sox. The Red Sox are absolutely rolling right now. The Yankees are kind of in that middling area, but the Yankees did very well against the Red Sox last weekend, winning 2 out of 3. They're trying to go ahead and continue having a pretty good time against the Red Sox. They're another team facing off 7 times in 10 days as well, too. So this is fun. And, Yankees back to Boston as well, too, because the last few series have been in New York. So this one right here, I think, will work out in a sense. But I think tonight, though, you have to go ahead and play this one the right way. I think that when you look at this, you have a lot going in the area for Boston tonight because Tanner Hooch is doing pretty good. 15 strikeouts over 2 walks, but he's 0-2 on the year. Jordan Montgomery, 99 strikeouts over 30 walks, but he's 3-5, 4.1 ERA, 1.8 ERA as well too. So when you look at this one, I say to myself, well, I think we're all going to get surprised and we'll wind up getting the under here. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. We move on to our next game. And here we go. The Indians yesterday, they went ahead and they looked good for us. They did the damn thing and went ahead and cashed that ticket for you. So they're coming back today against the Rays. Well, traveled back from Houston last night as well, too. The Rays had a very, very tough week this week. Well, they didn't have a tough week, but you know what I mean, though. They were they had to work against the Orioles, okay? So the Orioles were able to beat the Orioles late yesterday, but they had to fly up to Cleveland last night as well, too. So pretty much are they going to be pretty tired? But, the Indians had to fly in from Houston. So, both these teams coming off the road and everything like that. And, the Rays coming off of a homestand, but, they still got to fly from Tampa. So when you look at this one, you say to yourself, the Indians and the Rays, this one should be a really good game tonight. I think the Indians keep up the hot streak from what they did last night. That was a confidence builder in the win over the Astros, where they were a big, big dog last night. I think they continue to keep things close here, and I think that we'll go ahead and get ourselves I'm going to go ahead and put out the plus 1.5 for this one. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But this is what we're seeing here. This should be a good one. The Rays did have their way with the Indians down in Tampa, but the Indians are in game mode right now to get themselves, closer to a playoff spot, closer to possibly winning the Central as well, too. So we move on to another ultra rivalry game. This is going to be the Cubs and the Cardinals. Cubs have Antonio Elizalde on the mound tonight, and then you got Kim on the mound tonight for the Cardinals. And then pretty much you got the Cardinals as the favorite. They're a bad favorite tonight. Even though Kim has a good ERA, he does have tendencies to struggle a little bit. I think Albert Alzolay, he's 4-9 on the year, 83 strikeouts over 24 walks. He doesn't get a lot of run support when he's playing, but I think he has the stuff to go ahead and up in the Cardinals tonight, and I like the Cubs tonight, and that's why I think that they could be a good dog for you. So I have them in place tonight as well, too. So if you guys are looking forward to who's going to be one of my dogs, there you go. You got the Cubs tonight, and hopefully this does work out for us. But this is a rivalry game. It can go any way it wants to go, but that's why I'm betting on the Cubs because, these games are 50-50. It doesn't matter who the favorite is. All right, you got the Angels heading out to Minnesota tonight. The Angels plus 125 tonight, doggy dog, going against the Twins. The Twins have been the Twins been struggling, and pretty much it's a hard sell, but they got Kent Mayhew on the mound, the former Dodger, 79 strikeouts over 24 walks. Then Andrew Heaney's on the mound for the Angels, 98 strikeouts over 26 walks. Both guys have ERAs that are a little high. You got Mayhew 4.71, Heaney 5.56. Both these teams are two of the best teams when it comes to batting average, and they're both top 10 when it comes to home runs. So I expect for this game to explode a bit, but I think that you could go ahead and you can trust the Angels in this spot tonight as well, too. I think that they have a little bit of they got a little bit of they have enough reports on Maeda to go ahead and really make it be known in this situation. But all in all, though, I do really, really do respect it and everything like that. This is going to be a really good game tonight. And so pretty much it is what it is, and that's what it's going to be. So Angels Twins should be a good one tonight. They'll be on the Bally Sports, which is Fox Sports West, but Bally Sports, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so we got the A's and the Mariners. The A's and the Mariners. A's coming in here minus 140, Mariners plus 115. The A's have had their way with the Mariners this year as well, too. This should be a game that does slide into the favor of the A's as well, who have one of the best records in the league. Sean Mania is going to be on the mound, 115 strikeouts, over 25 walks. Chris Flexen, who's one of the better pitchers for Seattle this year, record-wise, who's 9-3 on the season, 3.35 ERA, 65 strikeouts, over 20 walks. But I think that the A's will be a bit too much for them tonight, and I think the A's can win this game and win this game by 2 or more runs. So we'll see how it shakes out. We'll see how it goes. But with that, we got another commercial break coming up, and I want to thank, and once again, I want to drop some breaking news right now as well, too. Willie Green, assistant coach, former 76er as well, too. Played with Allen Iverson, all that good stuff, and he went to Detroit Mercy. He was a part of a team that actually upset UCLA one year as well, too. So pretty much he's now a head coach in the NBA. He will be taking over the Pelicans. So Zion has his third coach in 3 seasons, and we're going to see if this one's going to work for old New Orleans. But it is what it is at the end of the day, and that's exactly what the news is coming in right now. So you guys stay tuned. I'll be right back to you. This is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles Live, and we'll be right back after this short break.
Now you and your friends can compete in the Sport of Kings, and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash, and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another, and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we are back in boxing news right now. The WBO has ordered Bud Crawford, their champion, their welterweight champion, to go ahead and pretty much figure out a way to sign off on the paperwork to fight Shawn Porter, which was already in play about January, February, but now it's been ordered since, they were trying to find Bud an opponent and everything like that. So they got 30 days to make a deal happen, or it will go to a purse bid. So now you have it in place that now you got Bud Crawford maybe about to fight a PBC fighter as long as everything goes all set, all well and good. And I think that it will, because at the end of the day, the money's going to speak to it. It can be a pay-per-view fight as well, too, that both sides can make some money off of as well. Because Shawn Porter was seen as a guy that really took Errol Spence to the absolute limit, even though when you look at it, Errol Spence did get the slight victory over him when you really go look at the fight for a second time as well, too. But he had never had to go be a dog. He never had to really have to be in a dog fight, and Shawn Porter did that. Now, everybody wants to see Porter and Crawford because they feel like this would be another dog fight and everything like that. But the way that Bud Crawford fights and how intense Bud Crawford is, I know Shawn Porter is not going to lay down or anything like that. But I think that the style that Bud has is a little bit more aggressive than Errol Spence, who takes his time, throws a nice punch. It's gonna mean something. He's gonna try to make sure it's accurate and things like that. But you got Bud, a guy that can make adjustments on the run. And I think that Bud has the capability of stopping Shawn Porter, something nobody has ever done. So pretty much this is going to be a good fight. All in all, Shawn Porter should be able to come to the plate and do Shawn Porter things. But all in all, though, I think this will be a great bridge for Crawford as he moves into the big fights of his career, which are coming within the next 18 months. So you guys need to be prepared for that, because I think that all in all, once this Manny Pacquiao Spence thing is done, if everything goes well for Spence, they will be fighting very, very soon, him and Bud Crawford, within the next 12 to 18 months, in my opinion. And I think the fight actually happens at 154, to be honest with you as well, too. I think both guys will leave 147, move it up a little bit, 7 pounds in weight. And then maybe the winner will go ahead and fight Charlo. But I know if Spence was to win, he wouldn't fight Charlo. So maybe they'll do it at 147 for the ultimate unification. But I do know that both guys will probably be moving up to 154 at some point, and might be meeting each other at that weight class as well too. And then you don't want to forget about Josh Taylor either, because right after Bud Crawford and this fight happens, all Josh Taylor can always move up and do a super fight with Crawford as well too. They're both on top rank, so there's a lot of options, there's a lot of things. But boxing fans who have been frustrated for a long time about things, just know that boxing is about to be making some great fights, and you need to be tuning in. Okay, so no more complaining, no more fantasy fight, no more fantasy situations. You guys are getting exactly what you asked for, so you need to pull up for it as well too. And that's just my message to the fans. All right, so we move on to the primetime pick 6, Talkin Tickets, and it's a 60-1 ticket. We got the over 9 with the Braves and the Phillies. We got the under 10 with the Yanks and the Red Sox, the plus 1.5 with the Indians tonight, the Cubs plus 115, the Angels plus 120, and then we have the A's ending off for us tonight with the minus 1.5. So that's a 60-1 ticket, and you guys can go ahead and bet this ticket over at UWager. You guys can use my promo code VSXPOP, and you guys will be able to get your sports betting journey started. They'll get you guys very situated and everything like that, and they'll get you guys a 50% match deposit, where if they put up $100, they'll match it with a $50 free play, and then you guys can start your sports betting journey on them with that free play. So you guys check it on out, and hopefully you guys go ahead and get into it, because it is a very, very fun situation, especially for people that are looking for sites to bet at. There you go. Use my code, and you guys are all the way locked in, and then you guys can try to make some money tonight. All right. So with that, I want to go ahead and thank everybody so much who tuned in today. I want to thank everybody for helping us break records on a weekly basis, numbers like that. If I've been checking the YouTube, things are looking really good in that area as well too. I thank you guys very much. We're almost at a good amount of views to where I'm going to share, and also subscriptions have went up as well too. So I thank you guys very much for that. So you guys, hopefully you're anticipating some more big things happening as well too. NFL Bet Exchange starts will be starting in September. So you guys be on the lookout for that. It's going to be absolutely epic. Me and Jeff are bringing back the show, but it's going to be bigger and much better. So you guys, hopefully you guys will be tuning in and everything like that, and sharing with your friends and winning on Sundays. So there it is. And pretty much merchandise is on the way as well too. If you guys are interested in that, we can get you situated and things like that. I will have some pieces up and everything like that, so you guys can know exactly what you're getting and things like that. Of course, why would you be asking for this to talk about some merchandise that don't have the merchandise? So you guys go ahead. We're going to have that in place as well too. So you guys, there's big things on the way in the next coming weeks as well. So you guys just keep doing what you do, tuning in, retweeting. If you guys want to correspond with me during the show, please do, because I do talk back. So, hey, it is what it is. I thank you guys so much once again for tuning in. And as I always say, if you got a hunch, bet a bunch. Bet with your head, not with your heart. The movement is moving. This is the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live, hosted by the one and only Pop DiBiase, and I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.